guesses. The answers are simple. Look for them in your hearts. No technical solutions. You all know that love shines a light that makes everything right. Love shines a light that comes from inside. Love shines the light day and night. All right, thanks for showing up, guys. Good to see you. Just getting a little guitar practice in, because I think it's really important right now that we all, play music and sing and dance and tell stories about our singing and dancing. So we keep our joy level high and get less judgmental about all that's happening right now, because there's a lot happening. And hopefully you're all practicing safe, hygienic practices, staying at home and doing all the things that we're told by the experts to do, because I think it's important. But anyway, just a little intro to Ayurveda. And what is Ayurveda? Ayur means life, Veda means wisdom or knowledge, the knowledge of life and longevity, basically. So the ancient seers and sages of the Himalayas went and studied the human condition of suffering and was divinely inspired by you can call them the celestial physicians or the gods that gave them knowledge of yoga and Ayurveda as ways to take good care of ourselves here on this physical plane. So we know spirit and matter, we go back and forth, Purusha, Prakriti. We won't get into too many Ayurvedic terms, but we'll try to keep it simple. So we have, the Vata individual, which is a little more like air and ether, basically those elements. So if you think of air is always moving very rapidly, people talking very fast, very enthusiastic. That's their nature, Vata types, but when they're overwhelmed, or out of balance, they tend towards fear and worry and anxiety and hypertension. So those are usually what we see with the Vata type individual. With the Pitta, who is a little more fire and water, they tend to get a little more hot-headed, hot under the collar. We have a lot of terms for that type. And basically, when they get out of balance, they usually get angry and agitated, and they have skin issues. And those are the type of issues we see with Pitta types, a lot of skin problems and hyper acidity and things like that of that nature, because they're water and fire together. Kapha types, because Kapha is more water and earth, they tend to be the heaviest ones. They have the most bulk to them, but they have, unconditional loving people, just beautiful. And like Pavarotti is a good example of somebody who's a Kapha type. And the problem with Kaphas is, because the water and earth tend to mix to make a muddy kind of sticky quality, they tend to like those type of foods, butter, milk, eggs, cheese, all the things that take them out of balance. Because what we are, we like. Air types like air. They love smoking cigarettes, drinking carbonation. Pitta types love hot foods, because they're fiery. They love the fire. They just want more fire, but it takes them out of balance. The Kapha types tend to like the cheesy, milky type things that get them phlegmy and stuff, because that's their issues. They tend towards phlegmness and, building a lot of bulk and getting heavy. So what can we do? We can use this ancient science of Ayurveda, understanding ourselves better, our doshic types. So Vata, Pitta, and Kapha is what we're talking about. And I encourage you to pick up some of the Ayurvedic books out there, the complete book of Ayurvedic Home Health Remedies by Dr. Vasant Lad being one of my favorites. Because not only does he teach you about Ayurveda, he'll also teach you about what remedies to use for whatever problem may be ailing you at the time. Right now, it's all about immune system functioning and keeping our immune system strong, which is why not stressing is one of the best things we can do. And so that's why I'm saying sing and dance and be joyful. The indigenous people say that. If we're depressed, are you singing, are you dancing, are you storytelling, or writing, or you're creating art, but use your time, in a way that keeps you feeling good, and maybe take a break from the news and do more long walks with the dog if you have one. Okay, so I'm going to give you, some different herbs that we can use. Most of them you know already. I brought my teacup over here, a Libre teacup, which is wonderful for traveling around with, because you can put loose leaf tea in there and drink it on the go. I'm going to have a little zip while we're talking here. And use all the herbs you already know how to use. Ginger, turmeric root, those are great ones. Garlic is very powerful antibacterial, antifungal, so it's going to help us. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the other tools I have here too that I think are very important for maintaining overall health. So our routine is called dinacharya. Dinacharya means your Ayurvedic hygienic routine, which consists of, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I grab I have a copper tongue scraper here. So it's the first thing I do when I wake up is I go and scrape my tongue, because what we call ama that builds up in the digestive tract, you could call it sludge in a way. It builds up in our digestive tract, but it surfaces to the tongue when we sleep at night. That's why you have a layer on your tongue in the morning. You'll taste it there. So you take your tongue scraper, go back into the mouth. I'll just open my mouth and scrape the tongue, and then you'll see the ama on the tongue scraper. Usually I wash it off. If it comes off easy, things are usually good. If it's sticky and doesn't want to come off, that's telling me there's some stickiness within me. That's where the ginger, the black pepper, pipali, different herbs are going to help us to break that sludginess up. Okay, so that's the most important thing, is scrape that tongue in the morning. Certainly, if you're a yoga practitioner, you're going to do your yoga stretches in the morning. Me and my dog usually do that. And then we'll sit down and I'll enjoy a little meditation with my cup of coffee or tea. There's so many wonderful teas out there today. Numis are good ones, PKs, there's all kinds of different ones. Another important thing is we're talking a lot about hygiene, so we're definitely going to bathe in the mornings and evacuate the bowels in the morning. All this should happen right away in the morning. You want to have a healthy routine that you live by. And if you live a healthy routine, normally you don't go out of balance too far. It's when we jump all over the place and traveling, and I see it with some of my clients, all the doshas start to go out of balance. And so let's remember the 3 pillars of health in Ayurveda are diet, nutritional diet, I should add. And basically, so we have diet, sleep. That's the big one I'm on everybody about. Are you sleeping well? First question I always ask everybody, any client, I said, how do you sleep? Most of them are like, why? And I'm like, because it's very important how you sleep, that you're getting quality rest. Okay, so we got diet, nutritional diet, getting adequate sleep, and then also lifestyle. That's the big one. What kind of lifestyle are you living? Hopefully you're being active, you're exercising, you're doing your yoga, your meditation. We have all these tools given to us from the yogis, masters. And it's very important that we implement them into our lifestyle. So your lifestyle, are you all over the place? Are you eating right at the same time? Are you going to bed at the same time? I normally tell my clients, try to get to bed by 10 p.m. and up by 6. You're getting 7 hours of sleep, that's plenty. So I get up at 5 in the morning because I love to get up and watch the sun rise. And I just, that's a good time to do those sun salutations. Salute the sun as it's coming up. Those of you that practice sun salutation or Ashtanga yoga, whatever your type of yoga, just do some in the morning, bathe. And then we get to, after I get out of the shower, one thing I love to do is use oils, what we call abhyanga. So abhyanga, this is a neem oil. This is really good. Neem is a tree in India. It's good for skin issues. So if you have any kind of psoriasis, acne, but a lot of that's coming from more deep-seated issues in the tissues. Issues in the tissues, we say. So abhyanga, it's one thing. And I know there's 2 different ways to do it. You can put it on, let the oil soak into the body as you get in a hot shower, a steamy shower may move it, especially if you're dealing with excessive dryness. If not, usually I get out of the shower and I go head to toe with usually Mahanaranyan oil or a daily massage oil I get through Banyan Botanicals, which is a company I mainly deal with. But there's Maharishi Ayurveda as well. There's many good places to pick up these oils. And then also one thing that's important, if you're dealing, especially kapha types, if you're dealing with a lot of sinus issues, this is an indispensable tool right here. Jala neti or neti pot. You want to put in warm saline water, nothing that's too hot, but just warm saline water. And you're basically going to take this over the sink and you're going to put it in one nostril and you're going to just pour it and it's going to clear out the nostril passages. Do that on both sides. Okay? And then after that, after you drain out the water, you'll see it'll come out. Take this nasya oil, because when you do neti pot, it dries out the nasal membranes. And one thing they're telling us a lot about is having lots of moisture in the nose to help with the virus, keep it away. One thing I find about oil, it's like oil pulling. When we swish oil in our mouths, it pulls the toxins out of the gums and into the oil. I think the same thing could be said possibly with the nasya oil in the nose in the morning. I use it at night as well. for sleeping, because I find that it has a little bit of skull cap. It has some eucalyptus, so the eucalyptus helps me to breathe nicely at night when I'm sleeping, and the skull cap relaxes me. So if I ever feel a little wired and I can't go to sleep, maybe I'm looking at my phone too much, because we should be putting the phone down a good half an hour before sleep. If you're challenged with insomnia, lay down with your legs up the wall and do like 3-part breaths very slowly and relax your mind before you go to bed. We can use little tools. Dr. Lott at the Ayurvedic Institute talks about, taking warm milk and blanching some almonds in a coffee grinder, mixing that up in the milk, and maybe putting a little cardamom or turmeric in there and drinking that down. That will help as well. So these little tools we have are available. This tends to be what I go to. My go-to if I'm feeling a little anxious at night and can't go to sleep. This relaxes me. The skull cap just relaxes my mind. The eucalyptus helps me breathe, and I tend to fall asleep really nicely with this. So I use it for that, but again, after you do neti pot, you should be doing nasi oil, okay? So you relubricate the nostrils. This is a little throat soother too that Banyan has. I like a lot too if my throat's feeling dry. And we're seeing a lot of dry coughs out there right now, so this would be a wonderful soothing throat soother spray. So this is nice to have as well. One of the most important things in Ayurveda is talking about Triphala. Okay, Triphala is really a wonderful formula of 3 fruits: Amalaki, Biblataki, and Haritaki. And the Amalaki plant, which is known also as Amla, you see some of the Buddha statues holding this fruit in its hand. It's a little fruit that grows at the base of the Himalayas. And it's really powerful, has almost 10 times more vitamin C than an orange. And basically you can eat that little fruit and walk for 10 miles without getting thirsty, they say. So it's a powerful fruit. And it's part of this formula. Very nourishing and rejuvenating to the tissues of the body. It's a mild laxative. I don't really like to use that word because it does help to cleanse the GI tract and really help with rejuvenating our system. So, I mean, it's one of the most widely prescribed Ayurvedic formulas that we give to people who are dealing with abdominal, distension, or they're having constipation. So it's a wonderful. And one thing nice about this, it has 4 of the 5 tastes in it: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and astringent. It's just, I think it's the salty taste it doesn't have. But wonderful, for using basically weekly if you need to. You can use it as long as you like. I tend to not like people getting too hooked on herbs, because I always say make your food your medicine for eating the right foods for our type. And, we definitely encourage a vegetarian type diet, but, I'll be honest with you, I still eat chicken and fish. I've been off the beef for 29 years, and that's just a choice. I just didn't want to support that industry any longer. And one of the biggest, in yoga, we talk about ahimsa, and ahimsa means nonviolence to all life. So I think it's important to, take that into consideration, because we see what's happening with the abuse to animals out there today. And I won't get too deep into that. That's a whole another subject. So anyway, what I think is important, I was going to share with you some herbs down here that I wrote down last night, because I think is really important. And I just wrote down some notes. Let's make our home a wellness home, okay, during this unprecedented pandemic. Prevention is really the name of the game. Our foods have been so industrialized. It's important that we try to get as much fresh, organic food as we can. But remember, our best defense against these pathogens and bugs are a healthy immune system. Ancient Ayurvedic medicine has identified many immune-supporting herbs, and thousands of years of their use are a testament to their benefits fighting these micro-invaders. So public places such as the grocery stores, health gyms, schools are true hotbeds for germs and pathogens. But to fight off these bugs before they accumulate and aggravate our doshas and homeostasis, that's why, using these herbs can certainly. And so Amalaki was the one I was just talking about right here in the Triphala. It's known as Indian gooseberry, sometimes called amla, and it's referred to as mother herb for its amazing health benefits. It is gathered from undeveloped forest regions at the base of the Himalayas rather than cultivated. So right away, it's gathered out in the wild. I think the more wild we can get our herbs and vegetables and things like that, grow them ourselves, really. I encourage you to definitely grow some of your own vegetables if you have a place to do that. So these are wild crafted herbs, rich in heat, stable vitamin C, and its polyphenols support digestion. 75% of the immune system is in the GI tract. So supporting healthy gut flora and optimal digestion ultimately supports immune health. Amalaki has traditionally been used to help strengthen the immune system and cool the body. So, we know that inflammation is creating a lot of the health issues we see today, cancer, diabetes, lots of health issues. Next would be holy basil plant. And so basil is known as Tulsi. Tulsi teas I encourage people to always drink Tulsi teas. Considered the most sacred herb in India, cherished for its broad spectrum of health-supporting characteristics. And modern science and research is now confirming this immunomodulating action of Tulsi. In India, many chew fresh Tulsi leaves when they feel symptoms of contagious seasonal bugs. Fights off a range of bacteria, animal pathogens, suggests it can be used as a hand sanitizer, mouthwash, water purifier, and to protect travelers when they're traveling. So drinking daily Tulsi tea, wonderful. Daily stress can leave our immune systems compromised, so these adaptogenic herbs, and what we mean by adaptogenic means that it helps the body to adapt to stress better. And right now, there are a lot of people stressed, so that's why I'm encouraging them to use these powerful herbs to support their health and cope with environmental and physical stress, which in turn supports their immune health. Number 3 is moringa, cherished as a nutritional powerhouse superfood with 92 different nutrients and 46 specific antioxidants. Another immunomodulator, meaning a substance which stimulates or helps to regulate the immune system, including both our innate and adaptive immune responses. What this means is that rather than artificially boosting, like we see people taking all these artificial boosters these days, I'm not going to name them, I think you know which ones they are. The biochemicals in moringa regulate immune function, allowing the body's own intelligence to respond to threats. Moringa's nutritional benefits supports overall health, which in turn optimizes our immune system's strength, which this is what we need. We need strong immune systems right now. You're seeing right now that most of the people out there that are surviving this are, not immune compromised. And that's what we see, the ones that are really perishing on us right now. So Katuki is another herb. I don't have that one with me. While it is most known for its possible liver protective characteristics, it's also viewed for supporting healthy immune function in Ayurvedic medicine. So according to Dr. John Douillard, who runs the Life Spa out in Colorado, and he's got a wonderful book that I always love called Body, Mind, Sport, because he worked with professional athletes. I think he also was worked with the New Jersey Nets basketball team, but as an Ayurvedic yoga guy. Kaduki supports lymphatic functioning. The lymph nodes are the body's internal drainage system and help to clean the organs and circulatory system. So Katuki is also used in Ayurveda to support healthy spleen, gallbladder, and liver function. So that's a wonderful herb to use as well to add in there. Turmeric. I think we all know turmeric, right? Cherished for a variety of health-supporting characteristics, commonly used to support healthy joint function and as a tonic for arthritis and inflammation. Science now confirms turmeric has significant immune-supplying qualities. The bioactive compound in turmeric is called curcumin. It has been shown in at least for 2 decades to be a potent immunomodulator as well agent that can modulate the activation of T cells, B cells, and dendritic cells. Anyways, it's going to support our cell strength and cleaning. In simpler terms, turmeric has been proven to support cellular and biochemical activities and help our cells to be healthier. It has also been confirmed to have antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal actions. The takeaway from this ancient herbal wisdom is that as far as immune system goes, being proactive has long been of long-term value. The best defense when dealing with seasonal bugs and immune challenges is a good offensive strategy. So that means a nutritious diet, as I mentioned, plenty of quality sleep, rest, hand washing, our dinacharya, our Ayurvedic routine we talked about, scraping the tongue, doing your daily massage with abhyanga, and taking advantage of this ancient herbal wisdom. Again, Ayur, wisdom, Veda, wisdom, Ayur, life. So are we living life in a wise way, what we would say a sattvic way? Because when we talk about the gunas, the psychological qualities of, or tamasic are heavy, feeling very heavy, innate, unmotivated, Rajasic is we're moving around too much, maybe too fast and too much. But it takes movement for us to move towards sattvic, because we took that yoga class. God, I feel good from that, so I should go back. And so Rajas is important for us to get to sattva. Sattva is clarity and calmness, replacing chaos and confusion and being overwhelmed. And we know what that's like right now, especially. We see a lot of people. So that's where yoga, meditation, pranayama, doing your breathing exercises. And I'm really big into restorative poses. I think really that's what everybody needs right now, is to be practicing restorative yoga. So we use, because yoga and Ayurveda are sister sciences, they come together. We want to use both of them. Ayurveda basically gives us the health to practice the yoga. Because if we're living in a healthy way, we can practice yoga and build our bodies up to be really strong and flexible, and quiet our minds so we're getting good sleep. And again, nutrition, we talk about the 5 bodies, Annamaya. Anna means your physical body. So your Anna means food, so your physical body is your food body. The foods you eat create the physical tissues. Rasa, plasma, Rakta, blood, Mamsa, muscle, Ashti, bone, and Maja, nerve tissue. To me, all those we have come from the foods we eat. So the foods we eat create the healthy tissues. We eat unhealthy foods, and we see so many processed and refined foods today that are really hurting people, in all these artificial sugars. Stay away from those. If anything, support your local farmer's market and try to get better at cooking the foods grandma and granddad cooked for us. So anyway, these are all important Ayurvedic concepts to put into practice right away. And I don't want to overwhelm you here with too much information, so keep it simple. Scrape your tongue in the morning. Drink your teas. Use your triphala if you're having trouble, going to the bathroom. It'll help after just a couple of days. I mentioned the Abhyanga, doing your oil massages. If you have sinus issues, use your neti pot. It's a great way to get those bacteria out of the nose right now, because we're all so worried about breathing them in. And, just take your precautions and use your mask, and wash your hands a lot. I saw a funny picture on Facebook of a chicken hand paw, and she was saying, that's my hand after washing it so much. And, you see some humor out there today, and just, I think we got to try and cultivate lots of that out there, because everyone's feeling overwhelmed and overburdened right now. And so be there to support others, but, from a distance, practice your social distancing so far. We're all coming together online now to try and give you more information to help you. So I hope that maybe this was a helpful talk, and appreciate you coming to listen to me. And again, there's a lot of wonderful literature out there. Go to banyanbotanicals.com. You can go to Maharishi Ayurveda as well. All these, there's lots of different Ayurvedic people teaching out there. We mentioned John Douliard's Life Spa in Colorado. He has a wonderful Colorado diet that's wonderful. And Dr. Vasant Lad at the Ayurvedic Institute in Albuquerque. All these are wonderful resources for us. So, you got plenty of time. Look them up. Do some reading. Do some studying. Knowledge is power. Let's do a little mantra, because mantras are very potent songs for us that really make us feel strong. So, Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. And you can join in with me. Om Hari Om. Hari Om. To Ganesh. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 Om Hari Om. One more time, let me hear you. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. One last time. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. All right, guys, thanks for singing along with me. Let's bring our hands together and we'll get nice 3 big ohms together. Take a deep breath in. Another deep breath in. Good. One more time. Big breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. May you all find peace, and may the light of Lord Davantari, the patron god of Ayurvedic healing, help us all on our journeys to longevity. Namaste.